Chapter 8. The First Phoenician Bible. Being of Abram, a man chosen by God, for the children of Arabia, that is, Africa and Arabia, out of the hosts of Parsee, who were of the people of Shem, that is, India, who were since the days of the flood, came Abram, a man chosen by God, in the arks of Spata and Bon, for the deliverance of the faithists of Arabia. God said,
Because they have not raised up one out of the sons of Ham, that is Africa and Arabia, thy name shall be, henceforth, Abraham, and it shall be testimony, in thousands of years of my records in the libraries of heaven.
And it came to pass, that forgers and deceivers, not having the fear of Jehovah before them, falsely gave the interpretation of the meaning of the words Abra and Ham, not knowing, in thousands of years, that in so small a matter he would display the truth and glory of his revealed word. God led Abram away from Hesah, his native place, where he was a maker of baskets, and took him to the ancient land of Ham, which had been destroyed by droughts, before the flood, as the name signifieth, whereafter God surnamed him Abraham, and made him chief rabbi over the faithists of Arabia. These, then, are the generations of the line, whence came Abram, that is to say, of Shem, and the 70 tribes, first going forth beyond the mountains of Awachapabel, who settled in Parsee, and his descendants Raphback, and his descendants Go, and his descendants Wawa, and his descendants Sadra. In Sadra the line was lost, but through his daughter Barber regained through the Ihans, in the land of goats, where the Lycians lived, having fled from the tyranny of the kings of Oas. From Barber was descended Agant, from him Der, from him Walshah, from him Heliel, from him Rakah. And here the line ran by female heirs, beginning in Rakah's daughter, Hes, from whom was descended Gilgal, from whom was descended Thusa, from whom was descended She, from whom was descended 7 generations in Suez, and it was lost in Wetaku, but regained again through Ihan seed, and appeared in Reboth, and again Suez extended through these generations, Arphaxad, Salah, Eber, Peleg, Ru, Sarug, Nahor, and Terah, but in Terah the line was lost, but regained by Ihan seed, from whom sprang Geth, from whom sprang Cho, from whom sprang Gus, from whom sprang Rabak, from whom sprang Yashem, and by Ihan seed sprang Telot, and by Ihan seed Shear, and by Ihan seed Shirah, from whom descended Nahor the second, from whom sprang Abram. Abram was of pure blood, and Ahuan, and the light of Suez had been with his forefathers and foremothers since the flood, and he was large and red, like new copper, and had black hair, and a long beard, fierce to look upon, but his soul was gentle, as a woman's. Abram could see without eyes and hear without ears, knowing things by the light of God which dwelt in him. Wherefore God chose Abram to gather together the faithists in Arabia, and the adjacent countries, even as he had appointed Po and Japheth, that is, China. In those days there were great kings and men of great learning. And they had books of learning and instruments for measuring things far and near. And Abram knew these things, for he had been a servant in a king's family, where learned men and women congregated. And so, knowing the power of God was upon him, he ran away in his youth, and lived amongst the Lycians, who made baskets and trinkets, in the forests, which they sold to the king's peoples. God spake to Abram, saying,
Fear not for men of learning, neither grieve thou, for the learning in books. When they are forgotten, thy words and thy labors will overspread the world.
And God lived with Abram, teaching him, and working miracles through him. And it came to pass, that the Lycians, in their rambles, selling wares, told the slaves of the kings about the wonders of Abram. And the slaves fled from bondage and went into the wilderness in search of Abram. And when they came before him, he spake unto them, day by day, as they came, saying, Why have ye come? I call you not. And when they could not answer, Abram said unto them, God brought you. Man of himself doeth nothing. Search then the records of your generations, for ye are descended from the faithists of old. And they searched, and found not one had come, but was descended from before the time of Zarathustra. Abram said, Think not that God cometh to one man alone. When he provideth a voice, he also provideth ears and hearts. Because ye have been faithful unto him, he calleth you to deliverance from your enemies, who are God's enemies also.